half a cup going right in there, and we're just gonna slowly start, you know, messing around with it, folding it together, you know, very simple process here. And you know what, that half a cup, I think turned out to be beautiful, okay? So just to recap on our recipe, okay, we got 1 cup of pan cornmeal. We got about 1/3 of a cup of queso fresco. Queso fresco here in San Francisco, you can get it anywhere in the Mission District or any Mexican market. They sell it by the pound. It's relatively inexpensive. It can vary anywhere between $3 and $5 a pound, depending on the brand. And you can make yourself some arepas. Now, like I said before, it's a staple in Colombian Venezuelan culture. It's kind of like the poor man's food. But here in the Bay Area, they've started to pop up. And depending on what you want to do with them, you can certainly get creative, make them very presentable, and they make terrific hors d'oeuvres. Now, from what I'm looking at here, I think we need a little more water. So we're adding maybe about 3 teaspoons more of water. Now that water has to be lukewarm, eh? That's what we have here. It can't be hot, because if it's hot, it's going to actually cook off the cheese before you actually start netting the dough with your hands, and you don't want that to happen. Okay, so here we are. The dough is slowly coming together. Now, you can certainly add a little more butter to that if you want them buttery. But that looks good to me. You want the dough to be consistent but moist, okay? So we're gonna go ahead and make us a big arepa. We're gonna turn over here to the grill, but before we do, Lisa over here, my camera girl, is gonna show you what we do with our hands. See, you use your thumb actually to give it that shape, that nice round shape. Now, you don't want a perfect circumference, 360 degrees. It kind of takes the aesthetic value to it. You want it to look a little rustic, eh? And people can actually tell that it was actually handmade. Okay, so there we got a nice little arepa. We're gonna turn over here to the grill. Okay, we're gonna warm it up. Now, my oil is canola oil. I find that to be a terrific oil, has a high burning point. Sunflower is also amazing. Try not to use extra virgin to saute your food. It has a little burning point, and you wind up, burning oil, the properties in the oil. So we're getting ready for arepita time over here. So arepa. Here we go. So you want that oil to be warm, okay? Nice and warm, nice and, a little bit of smoke there. Just gonna drop our arepa in there, okay? So there it is. We're gonna let it sear real quick. Lisa, my camera girl, please don't take the viewfinder off that arepa. We wanna show people what we're gonna do with that arepa in a second. Okay, now, here at the Latin Grill, every time we're making something like this traditional from in any region in Latin America, I always have the music on. You gotta have a little bit of that salsa going on in the background, because every time that's happening, that's what's happening to whatever it is you're cooking, whether it's an arepa, tortilla, a carne asada, that salsa just gets into the food and does its thing. Arepa. Okay, here we go. So it should be rolling. You see, notice how I didn't have to take a spatula and really, carve it out of the pan. We just flipped it over. A nice little, flip there. Now you see how it's nice and golden. Beautiful color. At this time, you want to lower the heat, eh? Because that pan's really hot now and you don't want your arepa burning. Okay, so hear that nice sizzle. See, there's that salsa that I was talking about. See, it's going arepa. See what I'm telling you? Gotta have the music. It's part of the love. Okay, so let's see how we're doing over here on that other side. I think we can go a little more. Okay, how are we doing there, Lisa, with that arepa?
Good.
Good, nice and golden? Okay, now traditionally in Colombia, we at our home with my mom, we usually eat them more for breakfast. Okay, so along with this arepa, you would get some huevos pericos. Those huevos pericos consisted of a little bit of a kind of like a scallion tomato concasse. It was sauteed really quick. You drop the scrambled eggs, so you get a little bit of that. Some eggs, you get your arepa just like this one, you drop the eggs on top and then maybe a little more queso fresco, but nice and cold. That way it gives it a refreshing crunch when you bite into it. Now see, look how beautiful that arepa is.